Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. Look at this. Oh, we had some people jump on. I see Desiree came on YouTube, probably because she wasn't seeing it on Facebook. So, good morning. Thank you for Gail for coming on from the Empowering Process podcast on YouTube, and Desiree, and then Kathy Reese on Facebook, and Leanne on Facebook. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, we were just chit chatting about the storm yesterday. We had a storm down here as well, but they had a pretty good storm in Connecticut, and we just kind of lost our train of thought there. So we apologize for that. So good morning, everyone. I'm trying to find us, but for some reason I'm not. Are we on?
And yes, we truly apologize. I'm sitting here. We're having a conversation. The stove clock is telling me it's only 8:04. So I'm like, okay, we're kind of late. We got it. But we were just discussing some ending of something. And then she said, it's actually 8:11. And I'm like, oh my God, that emoji with half and then all the brain is like frazzle dazzled. So I'm sorry that we are so late this morning. So let's make the rest of the morning great.
Yes, we were chit chatting about the storm, and we were just talking about just the advancement of society, which we want people to advance, but we also want people to evolve. You could advance without evolving. And we notice a lot of these cities now are just advancing without evolving. They're not, they're my hometown of Shelton, Connecticut, um, has really advanced over the last 30 years, but the last, I'd say, 8 years has not been a well thought out advancement. They could have made things like very New Englandy. They could have created just this nice beauty, but they're just literally throwing up very tall apartment buildings in areas that they really shouldn't be, blocking views that were really worthwhile to allow for everybody would enjoy. And then you take, because we're right on the river, and
Mm-hmm.
they're literally throwing up very tall apartment buildings, completely blocking the river except for one little section where there's a park. And it's like, you could have done this a little differently. Like, you could have put buildings up in a different spot and then had lower stuff so that it can be enjoyed by everybody, make it very, sort of commercial touristy. But anyway, and we were not going to focus on that. The bottom line is that a lot of these cities are just, and towns are clamoring to build, and they're not really thinking of the bigger picture. I'm still down where I live. We're very lucky to still have a lot of towns that are still a little bit behind the times. And I was just saying to Gladiator Guru that a lot of the towns were built in like the city, the downtowns were built in the 40s, it looks like 40s and 50s. Here, even in Shelton, was the same way. Like the 30s and the 40s were the heyday of manufacturing. So they have all that. You can see all the building styles are very similar. So here, what I've noticed is a lot of the cities are taking advantage of the building style, and they're leaving it that way, but just updating the outside a little bit, and then bringing the inside to code so that it's more updated. And some of them not even. You walk in, it's like you're walking back into time with the creaky floors, and it's beautiful. It's like something that you feel when you walk in, that it's like there's a connection to the past, and you feel like it's simple. And I feel like, in a way, like, it fits this conversation, because when you're talking about being bold and standing up, being for who you are, you have to be clear. And granted, you evolve as you go, because God knows I've evolved. I'm going in a direction I never thought I would go in when I first decided to move down here over a year ago. I thought I was going to be going blah 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 this direction, and I took it a different direction. I'm loving it, but it's still true to my core. That's the thing, that the direction's little different, but my core is the same. In fact, it's actually enhanced my core, I feel, even more. So I think that's kind of relevant, the conversation that we started off with before we even got in line, because it's really about being clear on, again, who you are, and being bold. And then we'll talk about, I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Well, yeah, because there's not enough people standing up for basic values anymore. Everybody's so busy being busy, they're forgetting the simplicity of life. And when you do that, you don't stand up for the security and the safety of the future for your children and your grandchildren. So everybody goes along. Nobody goes to these town meetings. Nobody puts their foot down. Nobody like starts an innocent revolution, let's say, to where you have a collective majority of the town or of the city that's against these companies coming in to build these monstrosities or to remove a park to add a parking lot because they've done it in Bridgeport.
Well, they do. I mean, they do. I've had friends that have attended meetings, but there's such corruption. It's all money. And when you have that drive, you don't, people, they don't listen. And then the hard part is that people always vote the same people in. And that's part of the problem too. They're like the mayor in Shelton has been in there for like 30 years, I think, And in the beginning, because a lot of people are like, oh, he does this, he does that, he's awful. He wasn't awful. Like he really did a lot for the city. But there's a point where you have to give up the seat because your ideas run stagnant. Or now it's become very clear that he's become very greedy. There's a lot of controversy with him. And he's going to end up leaving that town when he decides to leave and not run again. He's going to leave them destitute because the roads are not supporting the infrastructure, the building. So the infrastructure, rather, is not supporting the massive building, which is going to, guess what, require a lot of money to fix. And that's going to require taxes to go up. And he's going to skate right at that point. And that's the thing. It's like, again, it's about if you're going to do, like, if I keep saying I'm going to be a part of this government here, I have to do it. And I have to be vocal the very first meeting I ever go to, not just, maybe I'll sit actually and just see how everything runs, but I don't know. I'll play it by ear. I'm going to see how I feel. I'm going to be bold. And because I love it here and I don't want that to happen to these areas over here.
You do have to be bold, but you know what? You might have a small group of people that go and fight, but are you gathering? Because if they have more than half of the towns, I've seen it happen places. And of course the power, the greed, the hungry for ownership, of being landlords of everything. But I just don't see the fight in a lot of people anymore. I just see that they're just going with the flow. You know what? I'm minding my business. I got to get to work. I got to pay these bills. And that's the mentality that's been happening. Gail put something up yesterday that really, I just sat there once I read it. I think she shared a post. And I was like, wow, because it's what I've been feeling. Like yesterday, I had to go somewhere and I took my shower. I got dressed. It took me like 2 hours to leave the house. I was like apprehensive. And then I didn't want to drive there. I just felt like something wasn't right. And I don't know what it was. I don't know if it is the atmosphere. I don't know if is it a warning? Is it a prevention spiritually? I don't know what it was. All I know is it took my ass 2 hours to even leave the house. I tried to do this and that. So I just, there is something going on. I believe, me and my conspiracy theories, I believe they're working very hard on these 15-minute cities. And that's why all these apartment buildings go up. When the power goes out here, everything's electronic to get in. Nobody can get into this building, not even with your key.
Yeah, that's not supposed to happen.
So, and then I went to other buildings not too long ago, and they all have like the same thing. Everything is a key code or that little magnet thing that you touch. And so it makes it easy for us to become lazy and not put the freaking key in and turn it and pull the door open. You see what I'm saying? It's becoming a way of life that we are like hypnotized into just, oh, it's like Dory from Nemo. Oh, look it. Let's go swimming. And oblivious to everything. So we're just following suit. Oh, look, it's easier this way. Click.
Yes.
And then we're falling into this laziness, because that's what it is, of just going along and doing this instead of just put the key in the car, beep beep. Nobody fucking opens their door anymore. Nobody unlocks their door. And so I don't know. I'm very much old school, and I don't realize I'm old school until somebody's picking on me about it. You still do it that way? Yeah, it works. It wasn't broken. But what Gail says, yeah, there is. Yeah, it's happening. So yeah, and it's something for us to be aware of. Let's be brave enough to notice our surroundings. Let's be brave enough to
Trust our
make
gut.
decisions for ourselves. Like, I don't think so. I'm not going to do that. Remember, when you follow the masses, that's all I'm saying. And it's falling with everything. I see it in these young kids, my kids. I'm seeing it in them. And they ain't even young. They're already after 30, both of them. And you look, and it's like, how easy is it to adjust into comfort that someone else has provided? And there's always a catch when that happens. Shit, when you sit in your own comfort, there's always a catch. You fall asleep, you binge watch, you eat too many potato chips. I mean, there's always a catch to something, right? So if when you're doing it on your own accord and you fall for it, imagine when you're following someone else into the pit. 'Cause to me, that's what it is dragging down into the pit. But anyway, that's my conspiracy theories for the day. Gracias. But before we get started, I just wanted to share. Yesterday I had some. I hate that I didn't bring the other one. So yeah, I didn't. I think I grabbed the wrong one. Anywho, um, this is my coffee book
Yay!
in this form. Remember, the other one had the wire. Um, it's still in full color. Well, this is a color. Black and white is a color for me, okay? But so the booklet is still in full color. So that one, I kind of like the brochureness part of it. And then I got my journal in this size
Yay!
with the wire. And this is also in color. So whatever is in color here. And then, so you see this with the wiring. I was like speechless when I started, because when you complete a task and you see it, you're like, I did that.
Yeah.
So this was something good into going smaller, because if anybody remembers, my journals were like an 8x11, which I love. But here's the little one. Then I did it in book form.
Ooh, hardcover.
Hardcover book.
That's nice. I haven't seen a hardcover in a long time.
In
Ooh, love it.
color.
Now, mind you, too, let everybody know, like, you did this through a printing company, right?
So that's my favorite. If you can be anything, what would you wear? It's my favorite one.
Right,
Yes.
You did this through a printing company.
Yes, I am. So color. So see, the book is kind of hard to do a journal in, but I just love that. I created both the coffee book and the journal on Canva. You pick whatever they have and then you rearrange. So I designed pretty much everything on the pages. You pick and choose, a delete, add. So I created it in a size format that I wanted. And then I have a printing company in the UK, and I print them. And if you notice, it is published by Cricket's Whisper. And then what I did was I ordered my ISBNs, and then you can just tape them to your book. This I don't know what happened here. They added an extra hardcover.
They couldn't print the ISBN for you. You couldn't.
No, I didn't want to.
Oh.
I was at a bookstore up in I don't know where we were, Bristol, New Milford. And I saw how they have, and you see them in the libraries too. They have the tape on ISBNs, and it gives me more control. So
I thought the tape. I didn't think the tape was on there. I think they were permanently on there, but they always have tape on top of it. I've seen that.
no, the ones I saw, you can add it on. And
That's
I
it.
love that because again, when I say you don't follow what's there, you create your own. And so I was perfectly okay with that. I didn't want to send my ISBN. Um, I've had a really bad experience with Amazon, which was my experience, so I'm not doing it. So I think the ISBN, I just want to control over everything I do. When I choose not to market them, brand them, sell them anymore, then they're mine. When I'm ready to do it again, put the
Look,
sticker on.
Desiree wants to purchase. How can I purchase these things,
Oh,
Glory?
okay, I'll let you know,
Oh, we're
Desiree.
so glad you asked, Desiree.
Yeah. So does badass Buddha, but I want to tape them on. I want to have full control of whatever I put out and whatever I remove from the market and whatever I add to here and there. And remember that most of my books are my girlfriend gathering workshops that I'm creating that I've already started with the journals. And there I would have pretty much everything that I make for sale. But so yeah. So you know what? I create them and I print them through a company that's so affordable. And as you can see, they do excellent work. You know, everything is excellent the way you want it.
Yes. And it's in your control when you do that. You can
And
still
it's the
sell on
prices.
Amazon, but you
But,
just sell as the third,
but
as
why did I go to the UK? Because for the same books that I wanted, I would have been paying over $125 to what I'm paying in the UK plus shipping. So here, the companies here, it's like they rape their own people.
Mm.
So and I've tried, I have a list of over 12 printing companies here in the States, nationwide. And then I checked these out and they were cheaper. The product is excellent. Every time you order, you get 10% off your next order. So and the shipping, I've never paid more than $58 for 40 books to be shipped. So no, I'm good. What I'm saying is there's so many options out there. Before you overpay or do this, exhaust all your options, no matter what it is you're doing. I don't care what you're doing. Um, but make sure you exhaust your options because that is when you can stand proudly and says, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Because that right there has so much to do with so many tapestries of life. Go ahead, badass.
Oh, you caught me in something I was doing, so keep talking.
So, so Desiree, yes, I'm going to be having girlfriend gathering workshops.
Yeah, Desiree wanted to know what that was.
Yeah, so I'll be putting it out soon. I'm just getting everything pricing and all this kind of stuff done, and then for other stuff, and then I will announce the girlfriend gatherings because I think that's important too. And I think I love them. They can be in the evenings or they can be in the weekends. So I think it's something that you look forward to. You get with some girls, you mingle, you have tea, coffee, or wine. It doesn't matter. It's totally up to you. If you can host me in your house, I'll come to you or I'll create one where you guys come to wherever I'm at. I'm open. I just think we need more empowerment. We don't know what's going to be happening in the future. We need a strong mind. We need to be firm in our decisions. So I just think sometimes we just need a little revving up of reminders of who the hell we are.
Right. And that's what today's conversation is. So I love the title of this. This is what Gladiator Guru came up with. I'm so glad she came up with these. I was at a loss for this month. I had nothing. There was absolutely zilch in my brain to come up with any type of title. And I said to her, can you do me a favor? Can you just put the titles in and then I'll put everything up on StreamYard? And damn, she just like boom, boom, boom. I think it was like a 10-minute total. And they were just bold and funny, which is exactly what we wanted. So this one is, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Visions shall not be shared with people who have no goals. Be bold to trust your instincts and follow through with your plan. Work together with heart, mind, soul, and courage. Here's the interesting thing about this. The more that you are clear on yourself, the more you know self, what you want, what you don't want. Okay. We always focus, people are always so damn focused on the law of attraction where, oh, you don't say what you don't want. Don't say what you don't want because you're going to get it to you. That's true. But sometimes in the beginning, you know more what you don't want because of your experiences and say, well, I went through that. I don't want that again. You know what you don't want before you know what you want. Sometimes you say, well, what is it you want? I don't know. Well, I know what I don't want. Okay. Focus on the don't want, then springboard off of that. If you don't want this, then the opposite most likely is what you want. Start with that. Then you put that energy out there. This is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I'm going to have. This is what I'm having. This is what I am. You know, I want to be this, or I say I am this. But it's about jumping in and being clear on self, because it's true. If you share your vision with people who have no vision, they're going to squash your vision. Why? Because they don't want you to have a vision because they don't have it, and they don't have it for a lot of reasons. Most of it is fear. So they're going to want to squash you because they're miserable and too afraid to do their own thing. Mm-hmm. The clearer you are, though, the more you will say, hey, well, thanks, nice knowing you. And you move on. Like, you'll let them talk. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's a good idea. I never asked you. You know, like, and there's a point where you don't even have to say it. You just let them talk. Okay, good. Nice knowing you. And then you just, doesn't mean you have to not be friends with the person or just blow them off. It just means that, okay, I have a choice. I either stay friends with this person and just never share with them what I do. You know, like, and I'll give you an example. And this is going to sound kind of, Jonathan's on. Oh, Jonathan, we missed you. Our token male that comes on. So we hope we hope you're listening in the barbershop for all the crew in the barbershop. Because this is applicable. It doesn't matter if you're a male or female. If, you know, my mom, I love my mom dearly. We're not the same type of person. There's similarities, good and bad, you know. And I love my mom, but I don't share my vision with my mom for a lot of reasons. And I don't share a lot of what I do with my mom because some of it she doesn't understand. Now she's at a point in her life where she doesn't really understand. And then she'll repeat it to other people in a completely different manner. So it's misrepresenting. Number two, she still has that little edge to her where she questions it. She doesn't. Our mom, I'm saying our because my sister's on, has never had great vision. Our dad was a visionary. Our dad was an inventor, you know, but our mom wasn't. And again, it was all fear-based, you know. So for a while, I used to want to share it with her. Oh, I want my mom's approval, or I want my mom to hear what I'm doing. And it's not saying that she doesn't get excited when you do share something with her, and she's like, "Oh my God, that's great," and you know, and she'll brag to other people, whatever. But I'm careful. And it's not that I'm trying to be sinister or mean. I like to get to a certain point, and then I will share it with my mom. I will get to a certain point. My mom has never read any single book that I have published. And it's interesting because her version is I've never given it to her. I've never shared with her, so she's not gonna ask. I think that's interesting. If my kid published a book, I don't care if she didn't give me the book, I would get the book. You know, I would find a way and get the book and read it. But I'm not upset about that. What I'm saying is that I've come very clear on myself. Now I'm very unapologetic with my vision. This is what I want, and I'm going to make it happen. And we'll see how it goes on the journey. Maybe the end route is not exactly where I intended to be, but I got here for a reason. It's just like the alchemist, the intended route. The journey brought him back to where he started, but he learned things along the way because he didn't just come back to where he started and then stay there. he went back to where he started to get his final thing, and then went to the journey in the middle of the journey that he didn't intend to go, because he fell in love, and now he was a different person and he had money. He left that other woman that he fantasized about. She wasn't even in the picture anymore, because he was beyond that. And that's the beauty of it. It is about the destination, but it's about the journey. It's about both. But it's about you being clear and bold, getting up stronger and stronger. And if you are willing to fight for your vision, then fight for your vision. And sometimes you don't have to fight anymore. Sometimes it's not fight. It's just, I'm walking away because you're not in understanding my vision. And I'm not going to waste my energy in fighting you and arguing with you. So let's put it in a different term, not fight for your vision. Say, stand your ground on your vision. This is what I want. Okay, great. I appreciate yours. I understand where you're coming from, or not even. Thank you. Have a nice day. And I'm moving on.
Yes, I think nobody hardly ever understood me. That's why that quote is so important to me. And on Tuesday, we had Luis Velez, a fellow poet who was on from California, which you know how early that is to be on. But he's the one that shared that quote with me like 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. We were talking. We keep in contact, and it was so powerful. And that was at the time where I was being a caregiver. Hi, Pookie love to my mom. But I think when you stand solid in who you are, when you hold hands with your bravery, when you don't give a shit of how people see
Bottom
you,
line.
if you stop worrying about who the hell's gonna say what, who's gonna might get offended, who's gonna get mad, that's so much anxiety. And people still walking around with that mentality, and it drives me bananas to where it literally drains me. But when you're that person, you don't give a shit who's saying what, how they're saying it. Like I told you when I shared it, I don't know if he's up, he might be listening. But when I was going again on the Camino, and he's like, why do you keep going to the same place to see the same shit? And I said, because every time I go, I'm a different person. I'm not the same person who went on the other Caminos.
And this was a big one for you. There was a massive shift for you on this one.
Yes. And it wasn't even that I'm not the same person, but it's because I fucking feel like it.
You don't have to.
And that's it. And so when, we all have our flaws. We talked about it, I don't know if it was Tuesday or Thursday, that no matter how confident you are, you still have your doubts. You still second guess some decisions you make. Sometimes you behave a certain way, and then later on you're like, what the hell was I thinking? Because you know me, I suffer from foot in the mouth syndrome.
I put both in, managed to fit both.
So I think when you make a decision to live your life, and you're not going to hurt or hinder yourself nor those around you, it doesn't matter who can see your visions, who are going to support your goals. It doesn't matter, because the only one that stands up and falls down in whatever endeavor you take on is you. And a lot of people think that's too much of a heavy load, but just think about it. You woke up today and you made the sole decision to be on Viva. And Gail, we love you. We love when we pop up like slut magic to be like, good morning, Lori. Good morning, Margie. And the empowering podcast person's already on saying hello. You make that choice. So even the simple stuff of, I'm choosing to take a shower today, no matter how tired I am, because I know I'm not the only one. I take 2 to 3 showers a day, but I know I'm not the only one who comes home from the studio. Like last night, I came home at midnight. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so dizzy, tired. As soon as I came in, Savannah was up. I go take a shower. I come out. I'm up now. I'm making coffee. And then I'm sitting on the couch having conversations with my 3-year-old granddaughter at, 12:30 in the morning. But the thing is, when we do what we do, we always have the last say. So it doesn't matter who. And this title is very important because You can't share your visions with people with no goals. We all know that. We've all had them, and the sad part is they're all family to start out with.
They
You know,
are
those same
all fam-
close
all
family and
family.
friends
Yep.
who I read a post yesterday that said Rihanna puts out a new lip gloss, everybody runs out and buy it. Michael Jordan puts out a brand new pair of sneakers from the sweat factories. Everybody, they stand in line. My son-in-law, I wish he was on right now so he can confirm me. He used to stand in line at midnight the night before when new sneakers dropped. Like what the fuck, right?
Yeah, well, look at same thing with the phones.
They
I
would
wish
they
people
would
stand
camp
in front
outside.
Which people would stand in front of my door.
And Beyonce
Oh, got a new service.
would have a new concert at 250 starting, and everybody's buying the tickets. But those are the
Yes.
same people who can see me launching something. This, you know, this I created the
I
cards
love that logo. I love
in
that
Casa
logo.
de Encantos.
That is her granddaughter created that logo. It's just
You know,
spectacular.
I know, and it fits me. You know, with the tees and everything.
It totally
And
does.
and it would be those same people who'll be like, "Oh yeah, I heard you're doing that now. Oh, so you're back in Connecticut. What are you doing now? I'm doing this. Just stop by. I have some product. Oh, I'll see if I have time." But then you'll see them on Facebook in somebody's concert, and I don't care. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. What I'm saying is, you reap what you sow.
Yes.
And I'm not threatening, I'm not cursing nobody. It is the reality of life. It is karma. You reap what you sow. And the majority of me is meeting people who expect you to show up each and every time they need you. And those are the exact same ones that ghost you. And those are the ones that when you do call, oh, I really can't right now because I have this and I just paid that and this and this and that, or my car has been acting up, so I'm sorry, I can't. It's a million and one excuses. But that's how they are.
Yes.
There's givers and there's takers, and then there's givers and takers.
Yes.
Which, that's reaping what you sow. You plant something and then you have the patience for it to grow, and then you reap the harvest. And that's the relationships that we always need to make sure we have with people outside of us,
The
because
beauty, and
it
if
comes.
I could interject, the beauty
Yes.
is that when you are bold and you stand up for yourself and you are very clear on your vision, the beauty is that you also are there for other people. Because you look at it from a perspective of saying, you know what, it's not that you're looking, you get to a level where in the beginning, okay, this is what happens in the beginning when you start to come out of your shell, start to be bold, start to think about your vision, and you do want people's approval. You're like, well, and that's where we go wrong at first, because we're not quite there yet to be bold on our own. We want somebody's approval. We get shot down, especially by family, and then we hold back. And then you rise because you say, oh, you know what? Screw that. I really want this to happen, because you end up maybe getting inspired by somebody, having a conversation with somebody else that does have vision, or listening to a podcast or watching Gladiator Guru and the Badass Buddha. It inspires you enough to get to the next level to say, okay, I want to be that person. So I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to do this because this is what I want. You feel it. You trust your instinct. You feel it in your gut. This is what I really want to do. Now you get to that next level, and then you're almost a little, we talked about this on Tuesday, you're almost a little too, you get very, combative with your vision. Somebody starts to knock it down. You're like, well, so
Oh yeah, I'll rip your throat out.
You come at them. Then
Mhm.
you go to the next tier and you realize, I don't have to fight. This is my vision. And if somebody doesn't like it, it doesn't matter, because how many products have been introduced in the ever? And there's competitive products, there's opposite products. People will always like certain products and some won't like others.
The
And
bread aisle.
it's just the way it is. So then you get to that level where you're like, I don't care. This is my vision. I will find my people. My people will find me, and then they will embrace my vision. And then you let go. You're not angry anymore. You're not worried about what other people think. You in your head know that your vision is going to be, embraced by those people that you want to be embraced by.
Mhm.
Now, when you get to that stage, that's when you become the person that reaches out the hand to those who need the help.
Is it me or is it you?
Did I freeze?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it was on my end. It's one of those things where you finally, can you hear me though?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. It's when you finally get to that level where you are like, I'm okay with where I am, and I'm gonna reach out and help others. And you can recognize those that really want the assistance and those that just um, are there to, like, they're not there yet. So you reach out, and then, and I love that part. Now I love where I am now because I like helping other people as well, because it helps me. Like, it boosts me, it makes me feel good, and it makes inspires me. So like around and now here with all the networking that I'm doing, I meet a lot of people that are local. And then I say to myself, how can I help these people that I'm meeting that are wonderful? Can I give them business? Do I know people that can give them business? There's a guy down here that I've met. He's this cute medical doctor, out of the box, takes cash only. His goal is to get people off medication. He's like 20 years younger than me. He reminds me of my nephew. He's nerdy like me. He's a nerdy chemist, and I'm a nerdy physics person, not physics, but physical person. And we have such great conversation. And I've made it a mission to add him as part of my referral process because I love what he does. And it's important for me to get him business. And every single person, every patient that comes to my door now, any person that I meet that doesn't even become a patient yet, and they're telling me that they've had challenges with, their health and this, I instantly start talking him up because I believe in what he does. He was telling me he's doing this for 2 years and he's very discouraged because people aren't coming around. And I feel it was very weird. I felt like part of my reasoning for being here wasn't just to build up my business, but it was also to get all of these people who are in the same genre that I'm in, of elevating people to understand and take charge of their health and their wealth and their social and spiritual selves. I felt like that's my part too. So I'm excited to assist him. And I saw him the other day at a networking thing, and he was like, I said, listen, I got 4 people that I gave your card out to. You can't guarantee that they'll call. I said, did anybody call? He goes, 1 called. He goes, and then I talked him up at the networking thing where we could do testimonials. And I talked him up at the network thing, and he got so flustered. And he's like, and I said, listen, I'm not a bullshitter. I am when if somebody deserves it, you deserve it. I don't want you to give up. I told him, I said, please don't give up. I said, I know you've been doing this for 2 years. So maybe part of my thing was to be here at the time that I'm here, to also remind people who are in this. He's not the first person I've heard. I've ran into somebody else who's been here for a few years and says, yeah, it's been a real struggle. I'm not seeing that. I'm not feeling it. I feel that this area is on a like right at the edge where they can really dive into this type of open themselves up to this. And I feel like let's all dive together. Like, let's all hold hands and jump off, because I know we can do this. So it's exciting. It's exciting to have my vision, but also uplift other people to remind them of their vision. That's the beauty of being in this space. When you get past the not sure, then the anger, then you let it go and say, screw this. I know this is a good vision and I'm doing it. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to do it. And then you find your people.
Yes. And sometimes we have to go through the mud before we find our people. But going through the mud is what created you to be strong enough in every aspect of the word for you to know who your people are when you come out of it. See, people want to skip the mud part and then just think that, oh, well, I'm a good person. They should just be popping up like slut magic. Life doesn't happen that way.
That's
you got to
right.
work for what you want. And when you know that you are in need of something, you don't necessarily have to know what the end goal is, Like, I know there's something calling me, there's something pulling me. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to follow it. And then you go through that mud, and then the rain comes, so it washes the mud off of you. And as the sun starts coming and drying you off, boom, you're there. Now, what are you going to do? Because many times these people reach where they're supposed to be, and then they're afraid to knock, or they're afraid to just barge in. It's your building, walk in.
Yep.
And so then it takes other people to come. And I think that's how beautiful this realm that we're in is right now.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
when you fail to see us, the opportunity does not only knock once, but it won't keep knocking
Yes.
either. So you got to be very, very proactive in your life. And whatever it is you want to do, you have to be proactive. Before you complain about what someone else is lacking, you got to ask yourself, well, what did I do? Did I exhaust my options so they can understand? Because people think conversation is the key to a good relationship. No, it isn't. It's comprehension. Are you comprehending the conversation we just had?
Nice. Say it
And
again.
people
Say it
fail.
again.
Are you
Conversation.
comprehending the conversation that we just had? Because people
Comprehension.
walk away and they're like, oh, it's whatever. She said blah, 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 blah. I don't understand, blah, blah. So I don't understand either. And then you keep on your merry way until something else happens. So I think that when you want
Blissful
something,
ignorance.
when you know you're going towards your purpose, you're gonna face adversity. There's gonna be those betrayals in your friends. There's gonna be those drop offs in your family members. Nobody's gonna support your vision as of right now. But remember, no matter how small your vision is for right now, it's stepping stones to be built to what you were meant to do. Like I had a conversation with Byron yesterday, and he's
Oh,
always
how's he doing?
picking my brain. He's such an asshole. But we're talking, he's like, Shorty, you're always doing this and you're always doing that. And it's true. And then I said, well, and when I said it, he just took quiet. He's like, because nobody could tell you, but you have to tell yourself. And as you know, we had so many shows on Captain Save a Hole, and we changed the titles, but it's been the same conversation. And then when I was in Spain, I said, I'm just really stopping. I don't want to continue to be a Captain Save a Hole. And we were talking about it yesterday. He said, how's that going?
I love
and
Byron.
And then I had to say something. And I was like, and I sat down when I said it because it was like, wow. And it's like, my childhood trauma of abandonment, of my mother being presently absent, of
Yes.
me getting my little sister up and getting ourselves ready for school. I can only imagine what we looked on from the neck down because, all the school pictures are like this. And our hair was always like the ponytail that's supposed to be in the back of your head was on the side of your head. And you had all the wispies. And I'm like, I did that. Like, it's an accomplishment that I at least got myself and my little sister up and dressed and our hair brushed the best way I could have possibly done it for a third grader. And so even now when Janet and I look at the pictures, we crack up, but inside those little girls are crying because we were alone. So, there's people that grow up in the same happenstance, right? And then they grow up to be very selfish and they don't care about helping nobody. Well, nobody was there
Yes.
when I was
Right.
going through this. And I think mine is that Captain Save a Home mentality. I know what it is not to have nobody. I know how hard it is to do this, or I just know the feeling, what my heart felt. And if I can prevent that from happening from somebody I care about, then I'm gonna try. But you know what? It's not my place. I'm always veering out of my lane. And that person needs to recover the way I had to recover from it, the way I had to grow and try out all these things and believe in my talent and believe in my art in order to create and make money while helping others. So I think we all have to find who we are, and we can't keep wasting time. And you show me yours, I'll show you mine. Listen, I believe
I
in
love that
Maktub.
title.
Yeah, yeah.
Love that
I
title.
believe in Maktub. I believe that it is written. And for those alchemist readers, if you forgot some things, I suggest read it
Read it again.
again. Read it again. The more you read it, the better understanding of yourself. See, the book isn't about you reading about Santiago and all his journey. That it's about you. It's your spiritual journey
Yes.
because it's reminding you of all the magic you carry within you. And then you can put the book down and say, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. And that's conversation. And
Yep.
that's learning and that's sharing. So it's like, I do not
I
like
want to
to.
shout. Let me give a shout out. Let me just give a shout out to my new friend Dana, Dana Lee and Lindo. Good morning. Welcome to the tribe. Dana, that's so
Hello,
funny.
Dana.
My sister's first name is Leanne, and it's spelled the exact same way, which is so unusual. Most people don't have it spelled that way, so that's pretty cool. But yeah,
Yes, I know. I
welcome.
got to go back and see who's there because I think Beatty was on and some other people.
Yeah, so Iritza, let's say good morning. We could say good morning to Iritza. Who else came on? We had Tony
Pookie.
come on. We had
Hi, Doji.
Natalie. Here, it's easier from
Oh, Natalie Forte.
Yep, Natalie came on. Who else is here? Wanda is on. Good morning. Tony, I said Tony. Trying to see.
And Chanel. Hi, Prima.
Yep, Chanel came. Yep, Chanel's on or came on.
Prima, you gotta come by.
Seome di Seome. Good morning and welcome to the tribe. I've never seen you on here before, which is wonderful. And again, like, share, follow, subscribe. We love having the conversation. And yeah, so welcome. Thank you, everybody. And again, for those of you that come on YouTube, we don't monitor the YouTube channel. So if you're on YouTube watching, say hi in the comments. We'll see it on the screen. I just don't see it on my phone. That's why we usually we hold out for the people on Facebook, because I could see when they pop on and don't say hi. So we make sure we say hi to them. But YouTube, we don't have that. One of these days, I'll have both phones going, and I'll be able to monitor both at the same time.
We'll do that. Yeah. So you got to be careful who you share with. You have to have some modicum of privacy and motivating others, inspiring others, empowering others. Well, this is what I did, and it was quite difficult. So your vision is different from mine, but I believe you can do it.
Yes.
I believe you can do it. So we need to share a little bit of what we are. If our practice as women is to uplift other women. If there's no jealousy or intimidation, which there shouldn't be, there's no competition with another woman, there shouldn't be. But of course, shouldn'ts exist.
Sure.
But there's a modicum of privacy that we must carry with us. And then some that we share. Because in that sharing is uplifting someone else. We don't need to know what doubts they have about their new ventures, what problems they're having in their business. It's not our business. When we encounter somebody, whether for the first time or, we bump into them, we know them, but we're really not there all the time. There's a reason. I don't believe in coincidences. You're meeting somebody for a reason. And when you have maybe not even a 5-minute chat, like, oh my God, fancy meeting you twice in one day. I haven't seen you in 3 years. That's your opportunity. You're the messenger, or you're there to receive a message. So how beautiful it is to say, oh, so how you been doing? What's new? This is, and just that word, that tenderness, that kindness, that gentleness, that's you showing yours. That's you showing that I don't know what you're going through. I haven't seen you in so long, but I'm happy I saw you. Yeah, here's my number. Look me up here. This is what I'm doing. Maybe we can meet up and talk. And they'll say, oh my God, I was just hesitant on starting my thing. I really want to do it, but I don't know what you do. And you just say, whatever you choose to do, you're going to be great at it. That's all people need to hear for the most part, to light those firecrackers up their ass. And that's your just. Now, Gail said about she has a selfish business. I love that. That is like classic. Because that brings me to the convo I had with Byron yesterday. Like, well, Shorty, why do you help people that then end up wanting to take what you invited them to take this, to take that? And I said, because I know what it is not to have anybody. And sometimes I just want to be that pillar of strength for people. But I'm not the pillar of like, oh, come over here. I mean, like, get your shit right. Okay, this is what you're going to do. That's my way of comforting you.
Don't hold back now.
There's enough people who are going to sugarcoat shit for you. I'm not Willy Wonka. You want to get this done? Put your big girl panties on. What have you done to get the groundwork set?
But if you were Willy Wonka, I would visit you in your factory.
Being nice, it's nice doesn't get you anywhere. It's rolling up your sleeves and doing the hard work as salty tears are falling down your face because you're tired or you just got your feelings hurt because you were told the truth that you're not
But that's
building
the
that
beauty of
foundation.
resilience. That's the other thing is we become such a damn sensitive society, and oh, that hurt person's hurt feelings got hurt, or blah blah blah. It's like, stop already, because the world isn't a nice place all the time. The world isn't an easy place all the time. You have got to build up your resilience, and if you are not, and what we've created are individuals who are so damn sensitive, and they can't. Well, guess what? If the shit ever hit the fan, I'm not worried about your feelings, and I'm not not that I worry about them now. I'm doing what I need to do. And if you can't keep up because you become so ultra sensitive, that's not my problem. Because if shit needs to be done, you're going to either do it and step up, or you're not going to do it. You're going to be left behind. And I'm not even going to think twice about it. And I've become very, very tough with my children about this, because I did a horrible job. Well, not horrible. I mean, there are worse. I didn't do a great job raising, especially my middle child, because she is sensitive. I catered to that. I enabled a lot. Now I'm having to redo things. She's almost 21, and we have some very hard conversations, and I call her out now. And the beauty of it is, she calls me now and says, I need your opinion because you're the only one that I trust. And we did this yesterday on the phone. And I call her out now, and I'm like, you want me to say what you want to hear? I said, but I'm going to tell you this is the way it is. I don't think that's a good idea. So either you're going to, because she's made some choices that she regrets, and she's trying to fix them. And I said, look, it's going to happen. You're going to lose money. You're going to lose time. All you got to do is learn from them. Everybody's going to make a bad choice. I said, so what is the goal? And what can you learn from this right now? And we left the conversation where she felt empowered. That was the goal. My goal wasn't to knock her down and say, oh, you did this, and why did you do that, and just do it this way. It was for her to come to her own terms and figure it out herself, and then acknowledge the choice that she made that wasn't great for her, and then make a right choice. And we don't even know if the choice is right until like months down the line. And I said to her, and even if it's not the right choice months down the line, then and you keep redirecting yourself, but you'll get it. You're not 21 yet, quite 21 yet. I didn't figure this shit out until I was in my late 40s. And it still took me until last year to really come to terms with who I am. For God's sakes, that's 53 years old. It took me to figure this out. So she's in a good space, and I feel good now, because now I'm being the parent that I always wanted to be, and I keep leveling up. And I'm very specific now with her. You're going to come back here. You're going to go to school here. You're going to get a job. You're going to do this. You're going to blah blah blah, because that's the way it has to be. You're going to have chores to do. There's no other way around it. Yeah. You're not going to be whatever, because I wasn't that way. So if I wasn't that way, why am I letting my kid be the person that I detest, is lazy and, whatever. And that's what we've done, a lot of parents, but it doesn't mean you can't fix it. And then if they don't want to be fixed, then this is what, unfortunately, then you do it on your own. Then I'm not going to help you, because you need to figure this out on your own. We are so strong. We're so damn resilient. We have survived all these hundreds and hundreds of years as humans. And yet now we're in a society where we have so much technology. We have so many things that we've invented, and we are the weakest we've ever been, mentally, emotionally, and physically. We are the weakest, and physiologically, our functions of our body. We're on more medications than we've ever been before. We just, everything has to be handed to us, given to us. Screw that. You know what? That's fine. You want to live that way? I am not. I am looking at it going, if all of a sudden there was no electricity and there was no internet, could I survive? Absolutely. I'd be eating a lot of zucchini, if I couldn't get to the store. But hey, I printed out like 5 different recipes for zucchini, and I'll just eat zucchini for the next 6 months.
I'm so happy, like listening to you say this, how you found your ground and all. I'm so happy that people are here. For many years, I was considered the mean, rude, don't give a shit about nobody type of person, because that's how I've always viewed it. And when I listen to people who are there now, I'm like, okay, the numbers are growing. The numbers are growing.
Yes, I
We
feel the same way.
need to be steadfast in our beliefs. We can't be swaying with the wind just to join a group and be a part of something else. Be a complete part of yourself.
Yeah.
When you can fully understand who the hell you are and every decision you make, that's power. Sit in your peace, invite your power back. I print that on my notebooks. I just talk about it all the time, and not enough people do it because they're still waiting to see that other boat that's a little bit bigger and shinier to come by to jump on. And then when they're tired of your ass, they throw you overboard, and now you're a bigger victim than you were before. Rely on the beauty of what you know to be, and that is you. There's only one of you in this whole universe. There's only one of you, one set of your fingerprints. Why do you want to absorb into someone else's personality and identity? Why do you want to own what other people own? Why do you feel you need to be as productive and abundant as the next person? We all come with a purpose. And if you feel that you're not there yet, it's because you haven't done the work for yourself.
Right.
Now, this title, I'll show you mine. If you show me yours, Lewis is on. Hola, Lewis. Thank you for coming out. We were just talking about you at the beginning of the show, and about don't share your vision with people with no goals, and how you and I had that conversation. That's the purpose of this title today. And so I believe in Maktub. Back to the alchemist. I believe in Maktub. I believe that everything has been written for us. You don't have to be a Muslim to understand Allah is Yahweh, it's God. And Maktub is written in the Quran, and it's just an old Arabic word that says it is written. And I was saying it wrong. It's Maktub. My brother who's Muslim corrected me, and I was like, I stand corrected.
Maktub.
So, you know, they say don't share your visions with others. Well, don't share with others who have no vision. That I'm just condensing it because it's just a waste of my time. I don't care what they think about me. I never cared what people think about me, but I still get wounded. Like, I can't believe that person would say that. You know, you still get wounded because we're humans. And people like, do your shit in silence. Don't share your business because people have evil intentions. You know, I believe in a God more powerful than the devil. And so I'll share my projects with the select few because I believe in my energy and in the Maktub that you cannot destroy what God has gifted you. One. Two, are you more powerful than I am? You can't destroy what I have.
That's right.
You can't take from me what I am not willing to give.
And that is the key.
That is the key. And a lot of
Not
people
willing to give, because if somebody takes it from you, it's because you allowed it.
You allowed it.
A bitter pill to swallow, but we've said it so many times, and it is the truth.
And so many people, like, you know, it's just like this new age shit. And there's so many people our age who are coming into their new age of being strong and being fearless and being this and being that. And I applaud you, but keep it going because it's hard work.
Yes.
It's not that you wake up one day and say, I'm not going to let nobody mess over me no more. No, it's hard work. You will be standing alone the majority of the time that you make a hard decision.
Yep.
People will fall off. Those people that were your silent cheerleaders behind closed doors, when you finally take that step and says, well, I'm not taking this no more. And you look back, that's right, we're not. And you look back, ain't nobody there. Not even your shadow. Your shadow appears in your ass.
All I hear is crickets.
Yeah. You know, you look back and you're like, where the hell's my shadow? She says, see ya. So it's hard work. Don't want to be a badass out there thinking, oh yeah, I got this.
But there always will be. That's the beauty is that when you step away and there are crickets and there's nobody behind you, it's like in a movie, you know, when they're like, yeah, and they're standing up to the bullies, we got it, right? And they turn around and like everybody else is gone.
And they get their ass beat because they lost.
And the thing is, though,
the power that they can do it.
But somebody will step in at some point. Because you have
to step in.
It's a clear definition of the people who really are your people. Because the people who run away and you're left by yourself, there will at some point be people who will be like, good for you. I got your back because that was brave of what you did.
Exactly.
And those will, and it opens the door. I mean, we were so fearful of the new us that we cling to the old us, and we keep those people around, and it doesn't, it's just like we've said this before too, it's like holding a bunch of things in your arm. The new stuff that's coming to you, you can't even grasp it because you have no more room. You have to drop all that other old stuff to be able to grasp onto the new. And yet we don't. What we want to do is we're like, no, I want both. I want to hold on to this, but I want that. Okay, well, maybe I'll just get rid of one thing and then have one thing. But it's not easy to do that. Sometimes you just have to let it go. And it's tough. It's not, but once.
But is it really?
Well,
How
only
can you
at first. It'll only at first.
When you say you could survive when there's no power or anything. See, you and I have talked about how we've mentally prepared ourselves. We walk in the dark.
Yes.
Take cold showers. I don't own an umbrella. I walk in the rain, and sometimes it's like cold. My hair will get messed up, but if I have no choice, I will walk out in the rain like I did yesterday, and I raise my arms up. The thing is, when you decide to choose you're going to face more adversity than you did when you were, hiding behind other people's coattails, not making a move unless 5 other people made a move. How many people on here, please, by a show of hands, can say that they go to a dance and their favorite song comes on and there's nobody on the dance floor and they just sit there moving their feet, or
that was me.
Get up and run that dance floor by themselves?
Not now. That was me.
No, but I'm saying, how many have?
Yep.
How many have missed out opportunities that they know will bring them joy because of embarrassment, shame, or you just didn't have the gumption to say, fuck it, that's my song. My sister Connie, she'll get up and dance a commercial by herself. I've always admired that about herself. I'm a salsera, so I'll dance salsa anywhere. You've seen me. Whoever has come to Ajusta Tu Corona, I've danced salsa. Once I was introduced, I would come from the back of the room and I'll dance my way to the front. I love to dance. I don't care. Watch me. And if I can put a smile to your face, then I did my job.
Right.
Because I don't think dancing and being free and loving and doing what you do is acting the fool. I think it's allowing your spirit to really be free and show what they are. When you do that, there's nothing that you cannot do. Only things you choose not to do. There's nothing you cannot learn. Only things you allow fear to hold you back from.
Gladiator Guru, do you have the poem that you read on Tuesday, right? Was it the poem that you read on Tuesday? Was that the poem? Was it Tuesday or was it last week? Do you have that poem still? I know we started late, so we're over time. But I would love for you to read that poem again because we have a few new people on, and that poem was so damn powerful. Was it Tuesday that you read it? I can't remember, or was it last week?
I don't know, but I probably still have it. Hold on. That was a powerful one. Why do I have so much shit on my phone? And then I wonder why it's slow.
Gail, thank you for coming on, Gail. We love you too, and thank you. We know that people have to run, so thank you so much. Oh, Kathy says it was last week, and we know Kathy's correct because Kathy's our number one fan for 6 months, for 12 months. So Kathy knows. So it was last week. I don't remember the. Do you remember what it was about?
Yeah, it was about.
That was, was it the, no, it was the long poem. It was I still also can't get out of my head the one with, I repeated it to somebody, was the
here it is. Yeah, the lie said to the truth. Let's take a bath together. The well water is very nice. The truth, still suspicious, tested the waters and found it really was nice. So they got naked and bathed, but suddenly the lie leapt out of the water and fled, wearing the clothes of the truth. The truth, furious, climbed out of the well to get her clothes back. But the world, upon seeing the naked truth, looked away with anger and contempt. Poor truth returned to the well and disappeared forever, hiding her shame. Since then, the lie runs around the world, dressed as the truth, and society is very happy because the world has no desires to know the naked truth. And that's how it is with a lot of people. And that's why I'm a big personality. That's why people stay away. That's why I look intimidating. That's why I'm rude and mean. And that's why I don't give a shit. If I don't like you, you're going to know. You know why? Because we will not waste my time having hypocritical conversations and faking our way through the day.
Yes.
I just can't do that. I am that ugly truth. And life asks death, why do people love me, yet they hate you? And death replied, because you are a beautiful lie, and I am the painful truth. Kenneth Air. Let me tell you that right there, that's one of my favorite all times because it is true.
It is.
It is true. And sometimes when I get caught up and I get involved in a project, you won't hear from me because I need to focus. When I'm writing, I can't read anything from anybody because I don't need it seeping in through. When we are focused on what it is we want to do, don't make apologies for not being available for everybody,
That's absolutely
especially
correct.
if you have always made yourself available for
Yes.
everybody.
Yep.
The learning and empowerment of saying no is addictive. Don't fear it.
Nope.
Don't say no just because, no, I don't want to, but you can, or maybe you do want to. But if you honestly can't do something because you don't want to, then say no. You know what? Today's my rest day. Don't lie to yourself by making false excuses to be complacent with someone else. Be honest. You know what? Today's my rest day. I'm sorry. You should, if I had known a couple days ahead of time, I would have made an allotment of my day. But you just called me and I already have my day planned out. I don't care if I'm going to be in my pajamas all day binging on Netflix. It is my choice because
Yes.
it is my life.
Yep.
It is my healing for the week that's coming. Remember, you're not just saying no because you're going to be lazy. You're saying no because your body is telling you, sit the hell down. We need to heal. We need to relax.
Yep.
Listen to yourself. Inquire with that individual within. What do we need to do this weekend? You don't always got to be out doing something. If you have an ache, if you're tired, if you feel foggy brained, sit the hell down and love yourself. And when you say no to somebody that's going to disrupt your mental health rest day, you are loving yourself. And it's okay to say, you know what, I'm so sorry. Had I known a couple days sooner, I would have made an arrangement. But as it stands, I've already started my day. That's you loving yourself and honoring the person that, because then they're going to honor themselves and saying, you know what, I need a rest day too. Why am I running around today? The laundry can wait. And that always takes me back to if I had my life to live over by, what's her name? Maron.
Irma Bombeck.
Irma Bombeck. She says I would have left the laundry another day and went outside and played with my kids.
Yes.
I would have driven with the top down after just getting my hair done and let the wind blow. We worry too much, and if you focus, but it's just that I get stressed. Why don't you sit down and figure out why you're worrying? Because half the time it has nothing to do with you. It's about falling short for someone else, not meeting someone else's demands, not being on time for someone else. And then you oversleep on your days off when you have shit to do for yourself. You see what I'm saying? Show me yours. I'll show you mine. Stand up for what you believe in. You're empowering a nation of women.
Yep.
One thing you do is just believing in yourself and standing up for yourself and showing the hell up. You're empowering a nation of women.
That's
And
right.
that, if you just think about you and doing the best you can for you, it's not an overload of, oh my God, if I don't do this right, people are looking at me. That's not your business because not everybody's going to look at you. Half the people ain't going to give a shit about you. But you showing up for you every day is empowerment enough for it to trickle down for those that are paying attention. People go on about their day. Even the people you love that hurt you, they're still going on about their day. You're still holding on to that shit. That's why you haven't progressed. You see how life is? People move on.
People move on.
So get up, Be the best you can possibly be in whatever shit hell you're sitting in or standing in right now. Be the best you. That's the best you can give to anyone around you who's watching.
Yes.
That's the best vision you can share with people with no goals. Because you know what? There's a meme before we leave. There's a meme on Instagram. It is the funniest thing, but it is so true. There's a lady talking, and there's different, like people use the voiceover on different stuff. But she says, do you think a crackhead gets up and says, oh, I can't smoke today, I don't got no money? No, they get out there and get shit done. Do the same thing. And it's a reality. As ugly as that may sound, and as horrible as it is a reality.
Yep.
Get up. Be addicted to yourself and knowing this is what I wrote down today. This is what I planned for my today. I got to get it done. And get it done. And then, if you got a couple hours to spare, sit with yourself and enjoy. And then you get to reap what you sowed throughout the day, because tomorrow it's building and it's building and it's building. And that's it. And I guess we can go now.
Yes, we could go now. All right. So listen,
Hi, Carmen.
everybody have a great weekend. Be bold. You know, only show yours to those who are worthy to see it. Anyway, we'll see you guys, or we'll see everybody on Tuesday. So from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
Yes, mi gente, and remember, breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.